Good afternoon, everybody. Today, I'm kind of reminiscent about a really good friend, probably one of my best friends I ever had in my life. Um, I have talked about him previously in the past, but realizing two memorable dates are soon approaching, I wanted to share in great depth some information about this friend. And it's somebody I've talked about in the past, like I've said, Master Corporal Ronald G. Williams. And he was Master Corporal Ronald G. Williams Jr. He passed away in 2002. And we're going to go in depth and talk about the website. If you see the banner, the scroll down below, I encourage you to please go read and learn about this brave individual, a law enforcement officer. And I'm going to talk about some of his accolades. The first thing I'm going to mention is that I'm for this story. Well, I want to call him Ronnie, and that's what I called him, but I'm going to try and be professional. Uh, Trooper Williams became a trooper in August of 1986. We are currently August. And he perished in an automobile accident on August 9th. The anniversary of his death is a couple of days away, 3 days away. So I wanted to discuss his history and some positive things that have been done on his behalf, and a little bit of something I did and a lot of other people did to show appreciation to this fine trooper. So I'll just read an article. It says New Jersey State Police on Saturday were still investigating the cause of a traffic accident that killed a 16-year veteran of Delaware State Police. Master Corporal Ronald G. Williams Jr., 38, died Friday after the minivan he was riding in was struck by another car overturned on the New Jersey Turnpike in Newark, New Jersey. Williams, a Newark area resident, had been a trooper since August of 1986, including duty as patrol officer, Troop 6, Troop 7, and Troop 9, and in the Special Investigations Section, which is basically like the undercover drug unit. In 1999, he moved from the agency's Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. And when you have those kind of credentials, it's obvious you are a good officer, Delaware State Police spokesman Corporal Bruce Harris stated. Williams' investigative skills were so sharp that he was awarded the superintendent's citation 3 times. Fellow troopers credited his personality and ability to talk easily with others as the primary reasons he was a successful investigator. I can attest to that. He was pretty mellow and very, very well liked. He was a very easygoing person and well liked. Harris said, when you try to get information from people, you're like that, people tend to open up to you. A graduate of Elkton Christian School, Williams also attended Tennessee Temple University in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Delaware Technical Community College, and Wilmington College. His wife, Nicole, also was a trooper for 7 years before resigning in May to take care of their infant daughter. Delaware State Police spokesman Lieutenant Timothy Winstead stated. The couple has been married for about a year and a half. Winstead said, "This is as tragic as it is." Winstead said, "But the fact that he was a newlywed and had a newborn daughter makes it even more tragic." The crash occurred at 12:15 p.m. when an out-of-control car hit the tractor trailer and then the van, and driven by Nicole Williams. She and her daughter suffered minor injuries. That's the end of the article. I will tell you that Corporal Williams was ejected from the vehicle and pronounced dead on scene. What happened with that incident was it's just so weird. The baby was in the back seat fussing a little bit. Corporal Williams released his seatbelt to feed at that exact time to feed the baby a bottle, and that's when this motor vehicle accident happened. So he had his seatbelt on the entire trip, just took it off for a brief instance to tend to his daughter, and that's when he perished. So I'm going to read some more stuff here, and it's really, really good website. His sisters put this together, and I'm going to read one poem that is, I'm not a very good linguist, but here we go. I've read this in the past. I have not read it recently, so this may not come out real fluid and fluent. And it's titled Miss Me a Little, and it's submitted by Dave Hughes. That is, was a trooper. I think he's retired now. It says, when I come to the end of the road and the sun has sent for me, I want no rights in a gloom-filled room. Why cry for a soul that is free? Miss me a little, but not too long. And not with your head bowed low. Remember the love that we once shared. Miss me, but let me go. For this is a journey that we all must take, and each must go alone. It's all part of the Master's plan, a step on the road home. When you are lonely and sick of heart, go to the friends we know and bury your sorrows in doing good deeds. Miss me, but let me go. So I need to make a correction. It says author unknown, but it was submitted by Dave Hughes. I recognize the name. I know he was a trooper. So that's one thing. The night before Ronnie's Corporal Williams' funeral, I wrote a poem. And I used to do a lot of writing of poetry when I was younger. I always thought I was pretty good at it. And I would write poems, and a lot of times it would come real easy, really easy. And when I was done with it, I would tear it up, because I never wanted anybody to see somebody who's considered macho and physically strong and fit at that time to be perceived as having a weakness. I probably could have a published book if I had saved all the poems I had written. So that the night before Corporal Williams' funeral, I wrote this poem. I submitted it to his family, and it was framed. Beautiful frame on really high quality paper. It was really nice. It was like resume stock, but it had a really nice image in the background. And I kid you not, it took me probably 15 minutes to write this poem as a tribute to my best friend. So here it is. I haven't read this in a long time, so I just want to preface before I read the poem. His daughter, her name was Cora Lee, and there's a reason I'm mentioning that before I read this poem. It's titled Born to Be. 1964 was meant to be. A child came to you and me. This child was born to be. In a century of pain and misery was this child that was born to be. He looked up to he and she because he knew he was born to be. Through this trial of wait and see, he knew he was born to be. It was a case of destiny for the DSP to see. His ways of happy glee was obviously sent for you and me. This young man who grew and grew had always thought it through. Because of troopers in DSP, he had a clear goal. He did see. He wanted for you and me to be free of unpleasantry. He was a man not often sent, but definitely born to be. A trooper for all to see, including Cora Lee. So that's I believe he was laid to rest on August 11th, if I remember correctly. And literally that poem came so easy. So I noticed over the years, a lot of other people wrote some different poems. I know I was the first one to do this. I'm not looking for a pat on the back, but here's another poem. It says, "One great man. So sweet and tiny you are right now during this great tragedy, but one day you will wait to know. Mom will tell you all. You'll see. Thank God for you. You're a precious child. You're truly a gift of love. Your father loved you, oh, so much. He will watch you from above. I feel that you must know this now. You are loved more than you know. You're a special source of strength to so many. You make your mother's heart glow. I hope one day when you read this, you'll fully understand God chose an angel to be with him, and the world lost one great man." That was written by Tracy Garvey, a friend and coworker of Nicole and Ron. So let's read the next one. It's called "Going Home." I'm looking at the author of this. I believe this is Ronnie's sister, Jennifer Hawkins. It's titled "Going Home." Going home, going home. My time has come. Going home, back to where I'm from. Though I leave, I do not go with a heavy heart, for my love of all of you is never very far. Sorry, I'm a little tongue-tied here. A piece of me I have left with you, so precious and sweet. Take care of her and let her know that someday we two shall meet. If you cry, please understand, it's only for a while. The distance that parts us now is bridged by but a smile. My life above is greater than my life on earth could have been. So miss me now and realize it's paradise I am in. Someday you may join me here when your time is done. Just give your heart as I did to Christ God, his only Son. At 10 years old, I came to know that gift from above, and I knelt down and begged my Lord to bless me with his love. I know it's hard, and there are questions why deep within your soul. Just remember where I am, and the picture I see is whole. Time will pass, and it may seem like the memories may roam, but someday soon we will reunite. Then I will welcome you home. So that's another poem, tribute, and that's then there's Nicole's tribute. I'm having a hard time reading some of these because I'm getting a little choked up. There's Nicole's tribute. There's Jen's tribute. Kathy's tribute. Kathy was another sister of Corporal Williams. Captain Hancock's tribute. There's something here called Grateful Hearts. I don't know if that's a poem. Yeah, it's another poem. Then there's a link, Ron's photos, and that's really good stuff. Really good stuff. So I would like everybody to view that. So I talked about Ronnie in the past. You can see I'm getting tongue-tied. It was really weird. He and I hadn't talked for a while because he got married and he was busy doing his thing, and I was no longer dispatching for Delaware State Police, and I was working as a dispatcher for an HVAC company. And one of the sales ladies there, her name, this is so ironic. This is the weirdest thing. And her name was Nicole. Corporal Williams and her had dated. So we were talking one day, and I'll never forget because I used to take lunch at noon, and I was out on the loading dock just relaxing. I'd probably been out there for about 10 minutes or so. And she came out, and somehow we were talking, and she said something about Ronnie. And we were talking. I said, "Yeah, I haven't really talked to him a whole lot because, he's married now and da da da." And we were talking, and it was the weirdest thing because I had this vibe within me that I felt like something wasn't right. And I was thinking about that for after lunch. And a couple hours later, I was advised at 12:15 p.m., the exact time that his ex-girlfriend was talking to me. Ironically, his wife, his current wife, was Nicole, and his ex-girlfriend, her name was Nicole. At the exact time we were talking about Corporal Williams, that's when he perished in the automobile accident. So I thought that was freaky as hell, and that really tore me up. And like I said, I'm just trying to show a tribute because the anniversary of his death is 3 days away, and I'm more refreshed today. And I wanted people to go to the website, and I think there is also a guest book on there. There used to be. Let me see if there still is. Oh yeah, there's a guest book, and there's also the RGW Foundation. So they do a lot of things on his behalf. And I'm gonna just repeat something I had talked about previously, but at his funeral, he was so well respected and followed so much. He had also been in the honor guard, and he had been to quite a few of the law enforcement funerals. So when he passed, there was over 3,000 people attended his funeral. And that was, man, you talk about powerful. I mean, I was with some of his other trooper friends. I was literally front row, right? He was 15 feet away from me, and I had some good friends to my right that were high ranking. And just how everything that occurred for his funeral was top notch. They did the flyover. They also did the through the command center. They did the last call, and it went something like this: recom to 3653. Recom to 3653. Recom to 3653. And then there was silence, and something that went like, all units be advised, 3653 is 10-7 duration. Last call or something like that. I forget how it went exactly. And that was, there wasn't a dry eye out there at the cemetery. He and I used to talk all the time. He had mad respect for the mounted police. Different agencies had those. And as we entered this cemetery, at the entrance was the New Jersey State Police on horseback saluting. That was powerful. It meant so much to his memory. And then when the flyover occurs and the one helicopter falls out of sight, it's a a tribute like the military does. I also mentioned in the past, Corporal Williams had restored an old Plymouth Chrysler. I think it was a 1970 or a 1972 Chrysler, and he went to Montana to pick up this old vehicle and restore it to the original colors that the Delaware State Police used to use, and it had the one bubble on top. And his intention was to use that in parades and funerals. It finally got completed, and the first time it was put into service was for his own funeral. The parents gave that vehicle to the Delaware State Police. That is still used to this date. There's a lot of other troopers and have restored the memory of the old patrol cars, and there's a lot of older patrol cars that have been restored, and it's due to his efforts that he started a trend, didn't even realize it, which is really cool. But it's so freaky when you restore a vehicle to use for parades and funerals, and first time it's used is on your own funeral. That's crazy. That's crazy. But anyway, please, if you can, go over and read some of the articles, the poems that I can't muster up the energy right now to read without losing my stuff. But I hope everybody out there finds time to respect law enforcement. And he was a great man, great man. He was a funny individual. And that's it. Thank you, Corporal Williams, for your service. And all my friends that are watching, I'm sure you would love them too. Thanks, and see you down the road one time. Peace out, 3653. Love you, bro. See ya.